Hello, I'm P Mars, and I'm gonna react to this video here, and let's get into it, shall we?
Name their channel then.
I'm done with this.
Be done with it because it's bollocks, and you know it.
No, what's bollocks is you trying to make me dox. That's what's bollocks.
I'm not trying to make you dox someone. I repeat that again. I'm not trying to make you dox someone.
That's exactly what Jim.
No,
I dox somebody by name.
You're gonna dox him by giving him us his YouTube handle.
Personal channel. He is trying to make me dox somebody, and I'm not gonna do it.
Once again, we have Gempanda, the massive control freak, trying to tell other people what to do, and Soundly here, he's a Christian, you know, so I don't know what he's doing with all these atheist clowns that have no morals. So Soundly, of course, being a Christian, he does have values. He does, you know, he thinks human life has value to it, as opposed to Gempanda and the atheist crew. So what you know, he's obviously morally opposed to doxing someone, but what these atheists do and their moral relativity is they will just rationalize that basically whatever they want is morally acceptable. And so he's trying to use this classic technique that is like a dirty debate tactic where he's trying to control the definition of the word dox.
When I said name someone, I meant name their channel. Don't be silly. I wasn't asking you to name the person.
And can you know who that person is by naming that channel? Yes or no?
I don't need to know. All I need to know is that there is a flat earther who's been...
Oh my
All
God.
I need to know is that there is a flat earther who's been converted to flat earthism by Debbie, which is your claim. Your claim is that this is happening every day.
I'm done with this. Gempanda, you know you're wrong on this.
Right.
You know you're wrong. You're asking me to dox people.
No, you know you're wrong.
I refuse to dox people.
You're wrong. No, you're wrong.
I don't think you need to dox anybody,
fuck
Dare
off with
Soundly,
the
to give
doxing.
us their YouTube handle.
Yeah. I've repeated 3 times that I wasn't asking him
We
to
know.
dox somebody. Why is he continuing to say
Virtue
it?
signaling.
Because all you've got left is this silly
Because
straw
if you
man.
were, then you'd be the bad guy if you were actually asking him to dox. So he's just trying to like turn this into him being a victim.
All right, so I'm just going to
It's more
clarify this for everybody
manipulation.
else.
Man, I'm
There
all
have
over
been
these
people
guys
that
with
have
this
personally
manipulation shit.
emailed me, that have personally messaged me, that have said
What? I'm not sure. I don't really follow with Jim Grimm's point. I don't know. I can never really understand Grimm. He's always going off about Electric Universe, some nonsense.
that they have been influenced by flat earthers like Debbie. Okay.
No, but that isn't the argument. It's by Debbie. It's by Debbie,
Yeah, you
Soundly.
said by Debbie.
The argument you're making is that they were influenced by
Yes,
Debbie.
it is, Soundly.
You're talking about by flat
Never
earthers
my
like
argument.
Debbie.
That
was
Go and deal
never
with the
my
flat
argument.
earthers like
You're
Debbie,
lying,
not
Jim.
Debbie.
That was never my argument. My argument is the fact that
Yes,
there
that
are
was
people like
exactly
Debbie.
your argument.
Yes, it was, Soundly. We were all here,
Go and
dude.
deal with the other flat earthers then.
We were all here.
No, it is
Go and
not.
deal with the other flat earthers who aren't Debbie then.
So it looks like Gempanda has moved on from defining words to meet his own definitions to creating a straw man argument for which now Soundly has to argue against Gempanda's straw man. Classic Gempanda, you know, his dirty tactics he uses to win these debates.
If that's your thing, go and
Bullshit,
deal with
Jim.
them.
You are supporting her delusion, and you're supporting her influence. People,
I'm stopping you from bullying people and being an arse.
I'm not bullying
That's what
anybody.
I'm doing.
I'm not
And you
bullying
should
anybody.
recognise-
I'm pointing out.
You should recognise when you're being an arse and when you're bullying people.
I'm pointing out con artists.
So I did a stream in the past. The powers that be hate leaders, and they've created a generation of soy boy bitches that don't know how to be a man. Where was I going? Oh, so one of the qualities in my stream about being a good leader, to be a good leader, you have to apply rules the same across the board to everyone. Because if you apply rules differently depending on, like, you know, for instance, your bias towards the person of like how much you like or dislike them, and then your rules are going to be applied differently based on that, people will see that, and that is a horrible quality in a leader, because your followers are not going to respect you if they see unfair treatment, right? So Gempanda, you know, dude's fucking 60 whatever years old, still doesn't know how to be a real man. He doesn't know how to be a leader, and he applies the rules of his Discord inconsistently. For instance, in this particular instance, he's criticizing Soundly for bullying, yet he has all these people. His whole Discord is about bullying. It's full of these internet hacker people that will dox people. People get doxed in this Discord, and there's no punishment for doxing. Where like Gempanda's trying to get Soundly to dox someone. No morals. So it's like, oh yeah, you can bully people, but you know, all of a sudden I'm gonna pick on Soundly because he's a Christian and I'm an atheist with no morals, and I'm gonna now decide to apply the rules of my server to the Christians and to the flat earthers and to all the people I don't like. The rules apply to them, but anyone who agrees with me, yeah, the rules don't really apply to you.
And you don't like it. You don't like it when I practice my free speech. Whenever she practices her free speech, perfectly fine. Whenever I practice my free speech, you don't like it.
And then look, Soundly saying the same thing as I just said. He's like, so, you know, Debbie is allowed, you apply a certain set of rules to Debbie, but different to me. And now Gempanda will go on and agree with what Soundly just said, and he'll offer this rationalization, because that's what Gempanda does. He behaves extremely immorally, and a way for him to live with themselves is he creates all these rationalizations for his behavior, and like in his mind he's actually a good guy. I know it's bizarre because he's such a fucking Nazi, anti-freedom, you know, fucking beta male, doesn't know how to lead.
I mean, your slurred speech.
Somebody, you don't like it, Jim. Whenever I don't want to dodge somebody, you don't like it, Jim. And you should listen to the people that are actually on your side right now, Grim V and Merrill.
I know everyone's on his side right now, dude.
Look, I run this server. I don't need anybody to be on my side. I decide what goes on.
You don't want to.
I'm 18. I do what I want. See, and I just did a hangout about being an adult. And being an adult, sometimes you have to do things you don't want. You know, running a Discord server myself, there's been many times I want to ban people and mute people, and I try to avoid doing that to the best of my ability because where was I going with that? You just can't do what you want all the time, because it's not, you know, maybe I want to ban and silence people, but is it the right thing to do? Probably not. But again, the guy's an atheist, so he doesn't even think about doing what's right. What's right never enters his mind. He just does what he wants, and then later will rationalize that what he wants is also morally right.
If I say you're bullying, you're bullying. Because I say what goes on here. And that's the end of it.
Control freak much? If I say you're bullying, then you're bullying, and that's the end of it. Because I say what goes on here. So I linked a video in the description for Gempanda. This video is, here we go. How to Stop Being a Control Freak. Self-Love Masterclass number 84. Hashtag self-love. By Renee Mulling Lewis. Here, I'll give her a little sub since I'm using her video here. If Gempanda, if you watch this, look, man, I'm doing this homework for you, bro. I went and found this video. I did this for you because I care about you, Gem. And I think you can become a better person if you just put a little bit of effort into it.
Sorry, but that's it. I don't want to fall out with you, Soundly. I admire all your work. I think you're a great guy. But tonight you're wrong, and that's it.
Yeah, let's just take a step back and remember we're all friends here. Like I'm the guy who's supposed to be saying that. Oh, that's funny.
No, seriously, like, Jim, do you really think people are like trying to like target Debbie just because?
No, not target, but
No,
people are getting
but that
too
is
feel
how
good.
sometimes it ends up.
Yeah,
And when it ends up like that, I'm
Targeted
gonna stop
individual.
it. I don't think we should allow people to
I
do that.
can see why it might seem that way, but it's mostly just like the buildup of like how she sort of plays things. So, like you can see that, right?
the crowd habit. It's not intentional. Like I don't think anyone's.
By the way, you can hear the guy smoking weed. Clearly, we have a bunch of people here that are on drugs and are alcohol.
It's out to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. It happens. Emerges sort of naturally, and no one's actually.
Yeah, we all have to be
personally
reminded.
doing it. It's the group that's doing it.
We
It's
all have
accidental.
to be
I think
reminded.
it's going to be a little
It's just
hard
some people
now to
can't
move
take
away
criticism.
from this subject, but we should try. Don't keep adding wood to the fire and try to move away from this
I
subject.
guess
you know,
it
let's chill out.
boils down sometimes to what you say and how you say it, and are you actually saying something?
I've
to-
been the nicest guy for the longest time, and nobody can disagree with that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
pointing
and all
out
we're
the
saying is
fact.
it's just making
I'm
you
pointing
look
out
bad.
the fact. I'm pointing out
It
the
doesn't
fact
help
that
you. It
What
makes
we're
you
doing
look
to
bad.
Debbie
That's all we're saying.
is a disservice to Debbie and to everybody else.
Well, that's your
What we're doing
opinion,
to her.
but I disagree with it soundly.
Well, then you're fucking wrong.
Thank you
That's
very
all there
much
is
for
to it.
voicing it. I've heard it many, many times, but I don't think it's
You've
true.
heard it many
I don't
times
think
from
you're in a
many
position to
people,
judge
Jim.
anybody's mental health.
You've heard
And I think
many
if you were in a
times from
position to
many
judge somebody's
people.
mental health, you wouldn't
Many
be doing
people
it in
have
this room.
expressed this to you, Jim, and now
Why are you incapable of listening? Why do you talk all the way through everything I've said?
and why do you never say that to freaking
We do
Debbie?
it all the time. We do all the time.
Jim never does.
Jim doesn't.
I rein everyone in who is rude and aggressive.
No, do you
Debbie
think
gets
you
away
say-
with
Debbie
Debbie
does
gets
that
away with a little bit more
daily.
because usually
Debbie does
she's
that
outnumbered.
daily, 24.
Bam! He just agreed. He just agreed with Soundly. Debbie gets away with it a little bit more, and their terrible leadership. You know, certain people can get treated differently than others. Treat everyone the same. It's like not hard.
Seven,
it again. Why can't I-
365 days a year, and you
All
let
right,
her do
you
it,
just
Jim.
keep talking.
You
Let
her
me
do
know when
it.
you're finished.
You let her do it, Jim. You let her do it over and over again, and it's bad for her health, and it's bad for everybody else, and you let her
Who
do
the
it.
fuck are you to be judging other people's health? Fuck off!
Right. That's what I thought.
Maybe if Gempanda was a little bit or more open to criticism, he wouldn't be a 60-year-old man-child with a degenerative health disease.
Exactly.
Get in, Jim.
Well, that went pretty far. A lot farther than I thought it was gonna actually.
Good though. Some things need to be said, obviously, and there you go. Everything's out in the open now.
It is, isn't it?
I mean, honestly, like when it comes to like at least like
Cards are all on the
talking about
table.
reality, when it comes to like speaking with Debbie, I completely agree with Soundly. Like she a proper dose of reality a lot of times.
Well,
She doesn't.
Crackhabit, you're wrong, man. This has been brought up before, and there's pretty much a room full of people against you and Stanley saying that you're fucking wrong.
That's fine. I'm just saying like whether she gets it or it.
Dude, you had no problem
It's
with it when
irrelevant.
it
I
was
just-
me
Argument to Mad Populum there.
that was getting told to stop being a dick to her. It was all fine then, so I mean,
Well,
why?
Grim is like the most unaware dick I've ever met. He dominates these conversations. He's boring. He's stupid. He's an asshole, and he's totally unaware of all these things. He's cancer to online conversations.
Why should it be any different when someone else is doing it?
No, dude.
You know?
I tell people all the time, and I tell Debbie as well, but sometimes, you know, with Debbie, she's always under fire, usually by a number of people. So, yeah, I do let her get away with a lot more than probably other.
You guys are wrong when you think like I'm like.
But she's not normally a name caller, and she can't really be a bully because it's usually her on her own.
That's amazing to say
Jim,
that.
I agree.
Practices defamation every fucking word out of her mouth.
She is a single actor.
What are you talking about?
But not for real,
she's your nemesis, Soundly.
I go to work. I go to work for days at a time, and I come back. And when I come back, I find out that she's been saying that I'm 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, dude. And you guys just go with it. What the fuck, Jim?
What was she saying? He edited out the best part. What the fuck, Grim?
Soundly loves Debbie.
No, shut up.
Debbie, what did you call Soundly, Debbie? What did you call Soundly? We're missing audio here. We don't know.
What's this? This is a new thing now.
More drama.
This isn't a new thing. This is what's been going on
Say
the
that drama
entire
for your
time.
mama.
We've had. Oh, she's converting people to flat Earth. You're defending Christianity, and now it's that she's defaming.
Crusades all over
The
again.
same fucking topic, Jim.
You're clutching
What are you
at
missing?
straws, Stanley.
What are you missing? It's all the same topic, Jim. It's all the same fucking topic. How are you not getting this?
Maybe you need another brewski.
Debbie is a valued member of this community. How are you not getting this?
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
As long as she is delusional entertainment for, she's a valued member to the community.
But it's not really like that though, to be fair.
But it is.
Opposition to what the consensus is. And if there's more people with opposition to the consensus to, have different types of discussions, then the more interesting a room can be, other than a fucking echo chamber. He's trying to manage this shit without saying that, alright? So, I mean, you should be, aware of the goddamn dynamics of a fucking room that's successful.
How do you define successful?
Right. Exactly.
I was a member of this room, and I remember feeling that it was toxic and addicting, a huge time sink, and it was just a huge distraction from accomplishing things I want to accomplish in my life. I would get so mad at Curved Water being an asshole to Debbie and calling her a cunt, and then I got addicted to going in there and trying to fight with him and argue with him. But I tried to remove myself from this server because I thought it was like a huge negative in my life, and I don't know, I've gotten a lot of shit done since leaving these people. I don't want to be fucking angry anymore. I've spent so much time in my life being angry at, my asshole parents, or the fact that we were lied to about 9/11, and then everyone's just been so dumbed down, and society is so decadent. It's really irritating, and it makes me angry. But I don't want to be I don't want to be just angry. That anger, it just consumes you, and it lets you make all these stupid rationalizations for not improving yourself.
The room is successful because we're willing to sacrifice one person's mental health.
It's not that, dude.
For the good.
No,
and
your mental health is.
Everyone.
We're willing to sacrifice yours too.
Exactly what it is.
It is hard to make that diagnosis. And when James said he said that a lot, part of what happens is that's something that a lot of people think at one point, and the more you look into it, and the more you think about it, and the more you sort of talk to everyone about it, you start to realize that's sort of a knee-jerk, but not necessarily true feeling. I believe.
There's been a person here for an entire year that's willing to call people names, to tell them say that they're a fraud, to say that they're liars, to say all types of horrible things about people, calling them demons, calling them Satan, to say that all the evidence for a round Earth and for not chemtrails and for
not chemtrails,
the benefit of vaccines is in our favor.
I just watched Scientist Mel is doing this show on vaccines. This is so fucking annoying. Maybe I should talk about this. They're going around with all. What did I say to her? God, I wish I had the fucking stuff I brought up. That vaccine stuff is stupid. I don't know. Anyways, she was Scientist Mel was just, I don't know if she might still be alive. She's trying to do this fear porn. She's basically going on there and just regurgitating, parodying all the mainstream media talking heads' points on vaccines, like, oh, these measles outbreaks, and oh, measles, people can die, and she cites these like stupid statistics. And I was telling her, like, what is this? I got this 1962 issue of Parents Magazine and Better Homemaking stated that measles has always been accepted as part of the growing up process, as much a part of childhood as stubbed toes and dirty hands. In fact, some parents even organized measles parties. According to a 1960 article in the Los Angeles Times entitled "Measles Parties, Put Spots on Tots," this was a growing trend in Canada where parents wanted their children to come down with the disease before adulthood. And I experienced this when I was growing up. My mom intentionally got me infected with chickenpox. So all this shit you see in the media is just fear porn propaganda to make you, scare you into taking these vaccines, which are not good for you. They are harmful. And shoot, what was I gonna check? So I was just getting banned in her chat for just trying to argue with her. I wasn't being rude, or I didn't say anything. She just made this argument about, oh, well, you know, so what, people, it was normal in the 60s. Like, she just didn't think that was a big deal. Oh yes. I went on Snopes.com, and Snopes says that the whole idea of measles parties and that was false, so that wasn't true. So of course the atheist skeptic in Scientist Mel's chat room is like telling me that I'm wrong because he just read Snopes. And then I quoted this 1960 article from the Los Angeles Times titled, "Measles parties put spots on tots." And he tells me a newspaper article isn't scientific evidence. Oh my god. Anyways, I guess more with the drama.
And you guys are supporting that.
But that is the nature of being a flat earther, and the whole point of this room is to have, is to argue with people who are flat earthers. That's all part of their narrative, soundly. And if you're really offended by that, hang on, let me finish. I accept the fact that you're perhaps more of a victim of it than a lot of people because of the nature of your content. But by the same token, if you're really, really this offended by that, Debbie's going nowhere. I'm not kicking her out. I'm not changing anything. So...
Oh, and by the way, I have like...
and by the way, the New World Order is really scared of me because I'm stoned out of my mind.
I have a vaccine argument that would just smack your
I think you enjoy
shit
being
all
here
to
and
death,
arguing
right?
as much as
I'm
anyone.
calling you out on supporting her, Jim. That's the whole point.
I'm sorry.
And you don't like the fact that I'm calling you out. You don't like that I'm expressing.
It doesn't bother me, Sam, because I've heard your opinion.
More people need to call out Gempanda. Fuck Gempanda.
I've had the same opinion from one or two other
fucking tyrannical maniac control freak
people, and I disagree with it.
Well, let's just act like he actually cares about freedom and he's a good person. Let's just pretend.
There's been one or two other people, Jim. I know how many people.
Well, you don't because I run the server and I know what goes down. And frankly, I don't care. I don't care.
Do you run the server, Jim?
Yeah.
Who owns the server, Jim?
Mr. B owns the server. But I understand the ethic of the server, and so do the people. So does Scott. So does Twit, and so does Captain Bullshit.
Captain Bullshit, the porn bomber, gets people deplatformed. God, yeah, what a great.
And
You know,
like it or
Fucking randomly just abuses his moderator power in this Discord all the time. Never reprimanded.
They're
Not,
the
so
people
do
who
I.
understand what. Right, and Grim obviously does as well. He's absolutely right in what he says. I've got to maintain
The people who agree with me are absolutely right.
an environment that allows people to, engage. And that
That's
means
fine.
I have,
That's fine.
when it's a
Bring
pack
people
of
on.
dogs
Bring
after
people
someone
on like chemo.
and attacking them, on a
Bring people on.
a fairly personal and intimate level, then
Bring
all
people
I
on
did.
that
I mean, let's
aren't
face it. I
just
didn't
100%
really have a go at
obvious
anyone.
cards.
I just said, guys, this is becoming bullying. Let's just back off a bit. That's all I did.
Right,
And from
and I
it, I've got
disagree
all
with
this
you.
sound like.
And this is a free speech server, isn't
a
it?
slurred speech server. That's right.
But free.
Okay. Well,
but
now
free
I'm expressing my
The server is free to anyone unless your name is Paymar.
Free
opinion.
speech doesn't mean you're allowed to abuse and bully people.
I'm not abusing it.
And when I see it happening, I'll
I
call it
disagree
out
with
and
that.
try and rein it in a bit.
Right, and I'm calling you out at the same time.
And again, I've heard what you say, and I don't care. I think you're wrong.
Okay, well then I think you're wrong as well, and I don't care. Here we go. I guess we're at an impasse.
I think we're getting places
Can I
in
say
this
one thing here,
conversation.
guys? Just one thing, Grim. I just want to say one thing, which is, when Jim said that, it wasn't actually directed specifically at you. It was to the group. And to be fair, what was happening was somehow it had come up. But somehow it had come up when she had first had sex or something, or when she had her child, and how old the father was, and people were really going in on that in a way that was kind of like a little bit like
Right.
In a way
it
that's
wasn't necessarily
pointing out her hypocrisy.
Yeah, Scott.
That's
Bullshit,
the whole
Scott.
point.
I'm kidding. Yeah, if not bullshit.
Oh, I see, gotcha.
Well,
If we can't point out her hypocrisy, if we
starting
can't
to see a
use
pattern here.
hyperbole to do that, then what's the fucking point? If I can't be sarcastic,
Is that all he
If I
did?
can't point out
I missed
her
what he did.
hypocrisy,
I don't know what happened.
Then what is the point? Are we supposed to really treat her with gloves? Are we supposed to do that?
I believe in mutually
Yes, you
assured
decide that at the end of
destruction. If someone talks shit to you, then it's fucking on. But if they show you respect, then you owe them respect. Respect is earned.
Reality. There's objective truth. It's not a subjective thing. It's her actually expressing her own hypocrisy.
She locks herself into these statements all the time. Like, I mean, this is something that you deal with when you deal with her, is that, like, she actually does argue against herself, and when you try and bring it up.
Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up daisies. Got 1 too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daisies.